I'm gonna teach you how to get a credit limit increase on your credit card and explain exactly why it's gonna be beneficial to your credit score. When I was 27 years old, this was my first credit card that I ever had. I did not understand that this credit card was bad for my credit profile because I only had a $500 credit limit. When you first get into credit cards, you're like, $500, wow, it seems like a lot. But on a credit profile, it's very detrimental to have low limit credit cards on your credit profile because it can single-handedly destroy your credit score. So in today's episode, I'm going to cover some of the major banks and how to get credit limit increases with them with no hard inquiry, and why it's very important to continue to grow your credit limits as you grow your credit score. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike the Credit Guy. I'm the owner and founder of Limitless Culture. We created the most advanced DIY credit management system in the industry. Our system allows you to take control of your credit, creating custom Metro 2 attack letters every single round, never using templates, for only $55.99 a month. Link is always going to be in the description. Now let's get into this video. Now, first one up on the list is going to be American Express, no specific orders. Now, what we want to do is we want to actually go into the American Express app and we're going to request it through their chat system. Now, with American Express, you can request up to 3 times the credit limit that you currently have. This is for credit cards that have credit limits, not charge cards. Remember that. Now, all you have to do is literally open up the American Express app. So now once you've opened the app, you're going to choose the specific credit card that you want a credit limit increase. Now remember, there's no hard inquiry to do this through the actual American Express app. Once you choose the card that you want, you're going to click on the little chat bubble at the very top right of the corner. Put it up here on the screen so you can actually see it. Now once you click on that bubble, it's going to say, how can I help you? It's going to give you a bunch of lists. Just literally type in request limit increase. That's all you have to type in. Or you can say request credit limit increase. Either one of those will trigger the automated system, and it's going to walk you through the process on what it wants to ask you. Next, it's going to pop up a little bubble and it's going to say, if you'd like a higher credit limit, you can submit a request for an increase. Click on the highlighted part that says request increase. Now it's going to ask you a series of questions, your employment, your actual income. Do not put something that's crazy overinflated with American Express, because it can in fact trigger a financial review, and you do not want to go under financial review with American Express. Let's say you have an existing credit limit of $5,000 with American Express. You can literally ask for a $15,000 credit limit increase. It's going to ask you how much you would like and how much you think you're going to spend. Literally put 3 times of your current credit limit and then hit submit. There's no hard inquiry. Congratulations, you just got a credit limit increase with American Express. That was just that simple. Also, a very important quick tip. If you are self-employed and you are a business owner, never put that you're self-employed. Put that you are actually employed by the business, because your file will be deemed high risk if they see that you are in fact self-employed, and that might also trigger a financial review. So with any credit card company, you never want to put that you're self-employed. There's going to be people that are out there, they're going to try to debunk this, say that's not true, I do it all the time. Guess what? Your credit profile is deemed a high risk and you will get denied for certain things. It may not happen all the time, but you're going to come across that problem eventually. So next up on the list is Capital One. You're going to open up the Capital One app. Then you're going to choose whatever credit card that you want to request a credit limit increase on. Once you find that credit card, then you're going to click the very bottom where it says profile. We'll put it up on the screen right here so you can see it. So you'll actually click on the button that says profile. Now you're going to click on the tab that says account features and settings. That's going to get you to the credit limit increase page. Once at the account features and settings, you're going to scroll down and click on the button that says request credit line increase. Just that simple, literally. Next, it'll actually pop up your employment choice. Now remember, like I said earlier, you always want to choose employed. Put that you are the CEO of your company, chief executive officer, or managing director if you own a business, because you do not want it across all your credit profile that it says you're actually self-employed, because once that gets on your credit report, it's hard to get it off until you start applying and putting a different company name on there. Then it will actually populate on your credit report. Now next, what will pop up is the credit line line increase screen. Now it's going to ask you, you know, what your total annual income is. You're going to enter that. Then you're going to put in your employee status. We already did that. Your occupation, chief executive officer. That's what I put. It's going to ask me my monthly mortgage or rental payment. I put $100. And then your monthly spend with credit cards. I put $5,000. That's just what I chose to put on there. Now you just swipe it. Congratulations. You got a credit line increase, or you didn't. Now, if you don't get a credit line increase, always pay attention to why you were declined. Don't fret. You can come back and fix it in 6 months. Now, remember, when you do get declined, you're going to get a notice in the mail telling you why you were declined, so you can work on the issues and then come back and reapply in 6 months. Last part is the most important. So I don't know if you know this, but the Chase Bank app actually has a like button inside of it. No, it actually doesn't, but this channel definitely has a like button. So make sure you smash that like button and you hit the subscribe button, because we're trying to get this channel to 1 million subscribers and we cannot do it without you. I wanted to walk you through those 2 big banks and kind of give you an idea of what you should be looking for when you're going to request a credit limit increase. Now, this specifically works with specific banks to not get a hard inquiry. So we did American Express, we did Capital One. You can also do this with your Chase credit card. You do the same thing. You open up the app, you find the credit card that you want, and then you request a credit limit increase. There's no hard inquiry to do this with Chase Bank. Now, also, you can do this with your Navy Federal credit card. So if you have a Navy Federal credit card, you can request a credit limit increase every 100 days. I know that's crazy, right? And there's also no hard inquiry. But if you call and you request it over the phone, they will do a hard inquiry. So always only do it in the app. Now, as an example, Discover Bank, do not request a credit limit increase inside of their actual app, because you will get a hard inquiry. That's the data point that we've seen, unless that has changed recently. But you want to actually do automatic credit limit increases, and I'll talk about that more towards the end of the video. But now let's break down why it's very important to consistently raise your credit limits on all your credit cards every 6 months. Now, I've told you time and time again, stay away from low limit credit cards like the Credit Ones, the First Premier, or the Open Sky, my all-time favorite. The reason why you want to stay away from these is because those low limits will hurt your credit score in the long run. Now, what do I mean by that? If you have a $500 credit limit on a credit card, then you carry a balance of $250, guess what? Your utilization is 50%. This is astronomically high, and it's deeming you high risk, and then your credit score tanks. So the higher the credit limit that you have on your credit profile, the lower the utilization is going to be. So if you have an actual $10,000 credit card and you carry $250 balance, do you see the difference here? Your utilization is much, much smaller, keeping your credit score at its highest peak, because you want to keep your utilization, otherwise known as the balances owed from your credit cards, always below 10%. 9% is a sweet spot. The moment you start to cross that threshold of 10%, you start to bleed points and you're losing points at a very high rate. We really want to focus on keeping our utilization as low as possible. And this is why high limit credit cards work on people's credit profiles, and they actually help you. Let's put it up on the screen right here so you can see it. When you break down your credit score, it's made up of 5 different factors. The 2 biggest factors are payment history. Payment history makes up 35% of your credit score. It's high impact. So when you get a late payment, that's why your credit score tanks. Now, when you look at credit utilization, otherwise known as the balances owed, that's 30% of your credit score. Just those 2 categories is 65% of your credit score. If you can truly control your credit utilization, you have beat the game, and you can carry a balance from time to time, and it's not going to affect you as it would someone that has a low limit credit card like $500, $250. This is why it's important to continuously request those credit limit increases. Now, you want to request a credit limit increase a minimum of every 6 months. And this is imperative because every single credit card you have on your credit profile is telling a story to a lender. So we want to continuously use our credit cards responsibly and pay them off in full every month. And when you do this, and you do this responsibly, every single lender is automatically going to raise your credit limit every 6 to 8 months. But you actually have to use the credit card. You can put your everyday expenses like your water bill, your light bill, your cell phone bill, your cable, your car insurance, all of these normal bills that you would pay with a debit card, put it on your credit card, and then you pay off the credit card immediately because you're already scheduled and budgeted to spend that money. Why not put it on a credit card and work on building that relationship with the credit card company and having them actually raise that credit limit so you can go after other high limit credit cards? Now, the last final tip is anytime that you're going to request a credit limit increase, you want to make sure that you are not carrying a balance. Now, people are going to try to debunk this also and say, well, I was carrying a balance and I requested it. It depends on how much of a balance you're carrying, to be honest with you. But we don't want to reduce any of the chances that the credit card company will turn us down for a credit limit increase. So making sure that it's actually already cleared and there's no balance on the credit card, then you're a green light to go and apply for a credit limit increase. But remember, if you're using your credit card and you're paying it off in full consecutively for 6 to 8 months, the credit card company is going to automatically raise your credit limit because you're using the money responsibly and you're paying it back in full. That's what a bank wants to see. So when you hear people saying you got to carry a balance, you got to know, like, banks don't look at balance and say, oh, look at that balance, it looks magnificent. No, they don't. You owe them money at the end of the day. So we want to reduce our risk as a borrower. We don't want to be tagged as a high risk borrower. We want to be tagged as a low risk borrower. So we will get approved for every single credit limit increase when we request it every 6 months. Okay, I lied. There's one final tip that I want to leave you with. It's very important to understand if you have capped out with certain credit card companies, your credit limits are too high, or you have too many credit cards with them, it might be a better option for you to apply for a new credit card. Because let's say, for an example, if you have a $10,000, $6,000, $5,000 credit card on your credit profile, then maybe it's time for you to go look for another credit card, and they're actually going to offer you a high limit credit card that you didn't start off with those other credit card companies. But because of the way your credit profile is stacked up and you do have high limits, now that new bank is going to be more incentivized to give you a high limit credit card. So always choose wisely as to how you're going to move. But this is a really important tip for you to understand, because a lot of people get stuck like, well, I'm capped out with Capital One at 30,000. It won't give me any more. Well, maybe it's time to go find another credit card, because guess what? We're going to get another high limit and we're going to get a welcome offer that's going to give us some type of points or miles to spend a certain amount, and we can use that to travel for free. So it's a win-win. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We covered exactly how to get a credit limit increase with any credit card company out there and why it's super important. So if there's anything else specific you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments section. Drop some emojis in there so we can get this video going, so more people can learn about the importance of getting credit limit increases and building their credit profile out properly. I cannot thank you enough, because it's all about you, our community. So thank you for watching. Again, I just can't thank you enough. So thank you. Now make sure that you watch the next 2 videos, because those are recommended by YouTube. And don't forget, subscribe to increase your credit score.